Hi, cuties. I'm CFlare. It's been a while.
Hello, friends. It's Elagatua. I'm back again. They let me out of coding jail to commentate this race, and we've got DocHeaps versus KLO, and I'm really excited for this one. I think this is like low key one of the best races of the second round, and I can't wait to get this one started.
All right, so I had seen a stat screen, but I didn't know how to read it.
And I don't know how to see it, so
Neither do I.
but we will stall awkwardly until we get our stat screen back. But in the meantime.
Yep. Hold on. Pause. I also need to add an audio output onto this one. Sorry, everyone. Ooh, whoops. I can just add an existing. Boop. Okay.
It's okay. Nobody will know that I just said.
I really want to look at here.
Well, I think you could maybe look at the quote unquote rankings. Now, these rankings are from the results of one seed, so I don't necessarily put too much stock in them. But I will say that on paper, KLO is the underdog. But at the same time, I think the interesting difference between these runners is that DocHeaps, I'd say, is relatively new to Triforce Blitz overall, and KLO has been grinding, I think, really hard. And KLO, I think, well, they both had a very difficult path to the to this round. I think Doc was in Nicola and Jack's groups.
5-0-10.
So that was like the group of death that DocHeaps made it out of, and KLO beat Martin twice. So looks like everybody's getting ads. They're
Yeah,
not
and I
like
hear some
me
sort
now.
of background noise from someone. I don't know if it's you. It sounded like an ad.
Well, it shouldn't be me because I have no ads.
Yep. Apologies.
Oh, no, I was totally hearing someone zooter. That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Are you slacking like when you needed to do dishes? Yeah, of course I'm slacking. I
Oh,
am
I'm
about
hearing one of
40
the
hours
runners.
into Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm
know that
hearing the
one.
runner right now.
Long way.
Oh, casual audio issues. It's never a stream without audio issues.
Well, while we're sorting out the audio issues, I will say that Doc Heaps is definitely kind of, I think, a well-known runner, well known for having really good execution and just being a smart player. But I would say that probably Doc Heaps is a little bit less experienced and has less reps overall with Blitz seeds than KLO. Um, and so sometimes that's actually very important because we've seen in the past a lot of, I guess, runners with experience in some of the standard tournaments come into Blitz and potentially drop out to maybe unheralded players because they're less experienced. And this format just has a very specific learning curve, and you can't play the same way that you play in the standard tournament to win in Blitz. And so a lot of runners that have spent a lot of time grinding Blitz seeds start doing better. And is this real?
I think they were just practicing right now. That'd be
Nope.
my guess. No, it's
They
real?
are live. Sorry about that, everyone. We had
Oh.
some visual issues. I think I have gotten it fixed. Like I said, this is my first time restreaming for a while, so I apologize for that, everyone.
All right, well,
Okay.
anyways, there's a bottle of moo juice at the top of the river. And Doc Heaps did an excellent glitchless trick to jump over there.
So I'm just trying to catch up on the important things that we see. So the most important thing that we have seen so far, I'm hoping that these path counts are correct because we have it marked as 5010 on the tracker. and that was Epona's in the windmill there. So we've got early Prelude, great for routing. We've got early Eponas, which is going to give us some early GTG access. I don't know anything beyond that, whether we found anything in CAC. Looks like DocHeaps went straight to River without going to CAC. So it's possible that we're going to get a revisit on all of the items in CAC to see those. And we've got a Graveyard Courage path early on, so we'll have to see if anything shows up in the Dompe race, because there's going to be some goodies. So doing a river opener is something that we do see a lot in Triforce Blitz. Oftentimes you'll see it after CAC, but before CAC is also an option, as DocHeaps is showing us. River especially good in Blitz because you can get a few checks out of logic, and also there's 3 hints there, and hints are extremely powerful in this format, and the sooner you get the hints, the sooner you can go to where the stuff is, and the sooner you can find your lovely golden Triforce pieces.
Yeah, there's only like, what, 1 hint in CAC?
Yeah, that's right. There's only 1 hint there, but there's a lot of items, and oftentimes you can pick up explosives, which may open up the seed. And additionally, if you end up finding something like Scale or Iron Boots in CAC, then it actually makes going River better later on, because oftentimes you will continue on at the top of River and go into Kokiri to potentially get like an extra song, and also the Mido's House checks.
We love Mido's House. 4 for the price of 1? Can't beat it.
Yeah, and if we don't go there as adult, then we generally end up picking those checks up pretty quickly as child. As we see the other hint in CAC, I believe that was a DMC on Courage. But if we're there as adults, sometimes if you get just a lot of items really early in adult and they start chaining into each other, there have been seeds where runners have found all 3 Triforce pieces without going child at all. So it doesn't look like it's going to be that way this seed, but it is something that has happened before.
Oh, and we got a pair of floaty boots over on Close side. Thank you very much, Anju. Just free gift. Gotta love it.
Yeah, and I don't think we saw anything in Graveyard yet, so that's kind of interesting. I don't think KLO knows that that's Path yet. We'll see where KLO is going to head next. Seems like KLO actually did Graveyard before CAC, and might be doing it this way, intending to leave CAC and go to River. So we might be having our paths overlap between the 2 runners very quickly.
And it didn't look like there was anything on Dampe, so my next guess would be either the song or Flame Storage.
Yeah, I would say the song seems pretty likely, although with a 10 path for Courage, it could be a lot of things, but when you have only, I think, like 2 checks left, or 3 checks total, 2 items in 1 song, and you know something's path, it's probably the song.
But the chaos in me now remembers that there's 1 more check in Graveyard.
Yeah, that would be the, well, I guess I forgot about Dompe Digging, so counting is hard, so.
Ooh, okay, I forgot about 2. I was thinking about the much more cancerous one. The, Song of... I forgot. It's been a long time. The one that changes time of day.
That would be Sunsong.
Yeah, that one!
Yeah,
Sunsong in that grave.
Only ends up being cancerous if we have a hard time getting it, but it's if it is required, then we'll probably see it on a hint somewhere. We do have 10 path hints, assuming that there's 10 path hints that are possible to be hinted. So if Sunsong ends up being path, we'll probably get a hint for it.
Can hear everything except Sadie now.
It's only because I'm not talking, because I can only focus on one thing at a time, apparently. Okay, but seems like the restream's running. I'm very disappointed to hear Gerudo Valley is foolish, but I'm also not surprised. And this step count is really doable today.
Yeah, I expect to see all 3 Triforce pieces. It would have to be very trolly for a 10 count to evade our runners, given that all the other path counts are pretty small. I've seen seeds where you know, pieces in like the 12 range have been difficult. And while this is interesting, actually, KLO can go ice now if he wants.
We love rushing ice.
Honestly, not a horrible idea with a 10 count. See what you get.
Looks like KLO is going to play it safe. So that is, I guess, another argument against going river before CAC, although it's not going to matter in this seed. If you get those hovers and the bottle, you have that option. But DocHeaps did not have that option, saying that hovers were in CAC. But it seems like we've just basically cleared stuff in more or less different orders, but we're ending up in the same place. So to child we go.
Do we have custom skins now?
Ooh,
We do.
We can.
We got a mini Falco? Oh my god.
The custom skins in this tournament have been delicious. Also, it's worth pointing out to everyone, so far we have 2 path hints that are overworld. So CFlare, as our resident newbie to Triforce Blitz, something that's really cool about hints in Triforce Blitz is that they prioritize dungeons over overworld, and that was Desert Colossus Path to Courage, so another overworld hint. What that tells us is that, like, the items we're looking for that path are not likely to be inside of dungeons. Or at least not everything is going to be inside of dungeons.
Yeah, so we've seen a bunch of overworld locations that have been hinted path already on our longest path. And so what that means is that any item that is path in a dungeon is for sure going to show up in the hints. Like, we just know 100% mathematically that that's going to happen. And so what that often means is that it's not good to go randomly into dungeons in this rule set. You generally want to only go into a dungeon if you think that a Triforce piece could be there, or if it's hinted path, or if you need it for some other reason. And additionally, doing checks sometimes can be dangerous because checks are slow, and if you can just do the checks you need and none others, then you will go faster. But DocHeaps has managed to pull a pack of chews out of the child shooting gallery.
Only
and
a small 5-pack though.
Yeah, it's only a 5-pack, but it's going to unlock grottos, and grottos have hints. And so this could be a potential...
this could be a long save scum.
Saga Storm's way to a Wanderer's Bow. So we don't have to worry about our bow being a part of our paths today.
Yeah, so that's a hint that's going to require some unpacking. So it does.
Wait. What is a Wanderer's hint?
Yeah, and you just saw an unlock hint as well, by the way. And wow, that's a magic behind the bomb shoes.
That is a great find with those bomb shoes. Great use of them.
Yeah, some really good fortune for DocHeaps. Just kind of doing one random overworld check and then pulling choose from that, and the next check getting magic as well. Now, we don't know for sure whether that magic will actually help out, but oftentimes it can be useful. And having magic in that check is actually not too bad, I think. If KLO gets explosives, then you'll probably end up finding that magic as well. But speaking about Wanderer hints, so Wanderer hints are a new type of hint that are specific to Triforce Blitz. And these hints give information about an item that is used in the playthrough to pick up the Triforce pieces, but it's not actually path, so it's not actually hard required to finish the seeds. There's some other bow out there that is available, but the bow that the playthrough chose was locked by Song of Storms, and we are seeing the items fly in. We've got
No kidding.
a rank.
With that Rudos.
Did we see Rudos? I thought we saw Rang.
Oh, we did see Rang. For some reason, I thought we
Yeah,
had seen Rudos.
it's
at
not
one point.
it's not Rang Toes. It's just a Rang.
Okay, it's Bolero and Lon Lon. So KLO not really punished for going to Kokiri first. Sometimes you do Lon Lon before before Kokiri, just in case you get like Song of Storms or Sarias, so that you can get extra checks. But it's not going to matter this seed, and we got some big chests here. It's a scale, and what else? A hook shot.
Oh, those are great items.
Yeah, the items are really flying in fast and furious, and there's a lot of locations now that we can start to think about as potentially being zero. If there's another hookshot available, then Ganon's certainly seems very likely to be available without any hard required items. Ganon's in these settings is locked behind 2 dungeon rewards. And you start with 1 dungeon reward, so basically what that means is that you need to beat 1 dungeon and you get access to the bridge. And so for our logic purposes, that often means that you have multiple dungeons available for you to beat. And so there's multiple ways to get there, and thus there's no required items. So when you see a 0 Triforce piece, like we have in this seed, oftentimes our runners will be thinking that Ganon's Castle is the most likely place for that, but there's some other options where it could be also Forest Temple, definitely possible now with that early hookshot. And Dodongo's Cavern definitely loves to have 0 pieces. Not crazy for a GTG to be an option as well, now that we have confirmation of a Wanderer Bow. So we'll see where some more stuff shows up in the seed, and we'll see where our path hints give us information about. But kind of imagine that our runners might want to get to Ganon sooner rather than later.
So I got a question. With Wisdom being a 0, does that mean it's a Sphere 0 check that has it, or?
No. So what that means is that there's no item in the game that is hard required to get to the location where the Triforce of Wisdom is. So for example, if the piece were in Forest Temple, then that would mean that you could get either of the hook shots. So neither of them.
Okay.
So it doesn't give you any specific information about where that piece could be, but there's a pretty limited pool of places that could only be accessible with 0 steps. For example, Bottom of the Well could never be a 0 because it always requires Song of Storms. But there's some other dungeons that could situationally be 0, as we see Sunsong.
But now if it needed, say, the long shot, then it would have to be a 2, wouldn't it? Or, yeah.
Yeah, so if long shot was
the only thing that locked it,
then it would be at least a 2. So, like, for example, anything that was, like, locked behind Morpho would be a 3, right? Because of Iron Boots.
Iron Boots.
Or at least a 3. And you have to keep in mind that there could be items that lock the hookshot. So if like ZL locks the hookshot, then that's going to add an item. And so ultimately this turns into a race with information and counting, which is very challenging for many people, including myself.
Information? Counting? Ah.
I know, right? Yeah. We hate that here.
I need to like take my hands off of a controller in order to count. I can only count up to 20.
Well, the good news is that if you see anything above 20 in Triforce Blitz, then you're already in for a bad time. So it does happen occasionally.
But like, if I don't have them actively on my fingers and toes, then like I'm gonna forget.
Well, I think once you get to 20, you're probably already forgetting a lot of things.
Yeah, once you've hit 20, you're kind of already there's a problem.
So we have already seen 2 Wanderer hints. We've seen a Wanderer unlock and a GTG Wanderer hint. And that GTG Wanderer hint means that there is something in GTG that is used on the playthrough, but is not hard required. And Wanderer hints only show up when we don't have enough items to hint for our regular path hints. So what this could mean is that maybe our starting song can't actually be path because our starting song was Prelude. So it could mean that maybe an unlock hint wasn't placed. It could mean that one of our 3 dungeon songs is path. So that could be either the OOT song or the Burning Cack song. And probably ZL is going to end up being path. You kind of take that one for granted, but so there's 2 spots on this courage path that were not able to be hinted for some reason, and I think we anxiously await further information on those 3 dungeon songs to figure out where we might be headed, because they seem awful sus.
We love awful sauce here.
Looks like Song of Time is vanilla, so that could maybe take our runners to prioritize GTG, thinking that, although looks like with our medallion layout, Song of Time is locked behind a bazillion items. We got Spirit, Temple, Dodongos, and Jabu all locking Song of Time. So that's probably a lot of items. And 10, that may be too many for 10. It's kind of hard to say, but still with GTG Wanderer, once our runners get some more items, that might be a place to go. They are able to go there with Epona's song already, and a lot of it's in logic with that hookshot. So it's always tricky deciding when to go to GTG, especially knowing that Song of Storms is probably out there somewhere locking a bow.
So what exactly is an unlock hint?
Yeah, so an unlock hint is in the form of some item unlocks some other item. And what this means is that the first item is logically required in order to get to the location of the second item. So for example, if Bomb Bag were path and a hammer was on Bomb Chew Bowling, then the Bomb Bag would unlock the hammer. In Triforce Blitz, the unlock hints also have a second function, which is both of the items that are present in an unlock hint are guaranteed to be on the path for some Triforce piece. So if we get a hint like the hover boots unlock a hookshot, then we know for sure that the hover boots are a path item. This can be very helpful when you have locations that are hinted path that have multiple things there. Like in this seed, we have hover boots and Epona's song that were both in Kakariko Village, and Kakariko was hinted on the path of power. And so we don't really know which one of those items is the path item, but we know it's one of them. But if we got an unlock hint saying it was Epona's song or it was hovers, then that would give us some information about what item we want to chase. And DocHeaps is really hitting the jackpot with these bomb shoes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Another
10
Yeah, that's really nice. There's actually a very good example of how powerful unlock hints can be with a recent race. I don't remember exactly which one. I think it was one of the Hollow versus Inkos. But there was like a hint that like, oh, Mirror Shield is unlocked by this, except we knew that Spirit Temple was foolish, so we knew that we had to get the medallion that unlocks, because there's no other reason that we need the Mirror Shield in that case. So that's just the way that those unlock hints can be really, really powerful to understanding the logic of the seed.
And once you understand the logic of the seed, it helps you make better decisions. Like, I believe I was watching the race as well, and in that particular race, that knowing that Spirit Temple locked one of the pieces made it worthwhile to give up on, actually, because it was so deep that it just seemed impossible to get there in the time limit. And so sometimes you can make plays like that where you want to just skip Triforce pieces entirely because we only have 2 hours here and we got to go fast. Looks like we got early Minuet, so that's going to be really nice for routing. And KLO is going to, I think, take a dip into Fire Temple. This is probably just to take a peek at the first chest because this could potentially be a 0 check. With Hookshot and with Bolero both available, you don't need technically any items to get here, so it's a little bit unlikely, but this could definitely be the Triforce piece.
Yeah, and I think with Fire being path to power, dipping in, doing what you can, seeing how deep you can go if you get key right off the bat, is a pretty good choice.
And that is a big chest, so here we go.
Let's see.
It's a lens.
Put that thing back where it came from, more so help me.
That is the face of someone who is absolutely disgusted. Thinking, oh wow, I'm such a big brain. Dipping into fire right away. Oh, it's a big chest, look at me. I'm going to get a Triforce piece. And it's lens.
Now, there's still many, many checks inside of fire. There's a chance that's not what we need. There's a chance it is, especially with us not having Requiem yet.
So, yeah, that could be our logical wasteland crossing for the thing that's in Colossus, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting though because that chest was not a key. That does mean that everything else in Fire Temple is hammer locked. So
yeah.
I think KLO is probably going to be thinking, unless I see hammer show up in a path location, I probably don't need to go back to Fire Temple. Because now there cannot be the Triforce of Wisdom in Fire Temple, because all the other checks require hammer, so that would be at least a 1.
And actually thinking about it, with Caprigo also being on Path to Power with Eponas, I wonder if hooks are locked behind Eponas, and that's one of our 5 steps to go get power. I'm starting to wonder if power's out in Spirit.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And keep in mind, it could still be the hover boots just for getting across the wasteland as well. So they could kind of both be pointing in the same location. Looks like we're going to see another song here on Minuet. So Serenade, it's good for routing. Still, Requiem definitely MIA. Kind of feel like... Well, I don't know if Ice could really be the play, but keep in mind that Ice is available, and ZL also conspicuously missing. So it could be one of those things where we're looking for ZL on crossing and locking maybe Requiem either in Ice or in the graveyard. And so it makes you wonder, you do have the ability to go Ice out of logic. Do you go there with the hopes of maybe finding Requiem in Ice to kind of do everything in reverse?
I think we're gonna find out pretty quickly what our graveyard path is.
It is true. We got the Sun Song here, and that is not it. So
it's gotta be Flame Storage or the Oh, we don't have ZL to check the other 2.
No, we don't.
That's right. So looks like we need ZL for something, at least logically, and KLO is going to show us Forest Temple, at least what we can do of Forest Temple. This is going to be at least a logical way to get to Ganon's castle, if KLO decides to kill Phantom Ganon, which probably will. But it doesn't look like we're going to see a clear of the available checks.
He has a bow.
And we do have the Forest Temple shortcut on, so we can get straight to Phantom Ganon here without having to do any more of the dungeon. So Forest Temple, much less painful in Triforce Blitz than in some other settings.
What about the shooting of Ganon? We need one of those things, don't we?
We do not.
You can actually hit him with a hook shot.
Ah.
Which is still, I think, the funniest workaround ever.
Hashtag buy a shield, you cowards. Are dungeon doors unlocked? Or boss doors unlocked?
Yes, we do not have any boss keys in Triforce Blitz. So KLO is actually getting skulls, and I think this is just for safety's sake because of that CAC path. Probably is either opponents or hovers, but you never know, and it doesn't hurt to get the skulls while you're here. But
we go up to 50?
CPG now.
No, only goes up to 20.
Okay, phew. I was like, 50 skulls in 2 hours? What? No.
Yeah, so and 20 is actually hinted in the Skull House, so both of our runners know that 20 is dead, and KLO will be stopping at 10.
God, there's a lot of quality of life in these settings.
We gotta go fast.
Gotta go quick.
Get the Neum. Get the zoomies.
So that was DMC on Courage as well, and I think the only thing that's shown up in DMC is Minuet. So definitely could be forest access, locking something, maybe locking Ganon's? Who knows?
Yeah, I actually like like what Toffel's suggesting about ZL on Burning Pack for Saria's and Ice or Composer's Grave. That would definitely explain the
Yeah, and the medallion layout that we have definitely suggests that could be the case. Deku Tree and Forest Temple, definitely not dungeons that require a lot of items, and we got a free water medallion, so be interesting to see if we run into a Burning Cat hint and KLO with a really nice shieldless PG kill. That's just really quality, honestly.
Hashtag team never buy shield.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. No. Shields are super important.
I only bought a shield whenever Jackstronomy was training me and told me to go buy a shield.
Now this is actually really interesting for KLO. None of those first 4 checks in Forest had a single key, and I kind of think that KLO might have continued on into Forest if he was able to get a key to kind of use those hovers to get into the courtyard, but not an option. So we're stuck out of Forest for now. I imagine that we're just going to see some hints here and then off to Ganon's. But
yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised to see someone go into the Doggo soon. There was the statistics that came out about like 280 like seed of the day Blitz and like where the Triforce pieces were, and I noticed that a 0 count is statistically like 50% of the time, 70% of the time inside of the Doggos.
So we just got the most beautiful, amazing hint that KLO could have ever wanted. Inside Ganon's castle is on the path of courage.
Great.
yeah, and if he wasn't going there before, he's definitely going there now. I kind of think that was the plan already, but now it's like, you're on the right track.
It's confirmed at this point.
Yeah, so if you're shooting for all 3 pieces, you want to go do Ganon's now.
It is a little bit unfortunate for KLO, though. No explosives, so Spirit Trial 2, with at least the current item set, is not possible for KLO, even though it is possible for DocHeaps. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but it's just one of those things that can show up later, having to leave a check behind like that you'd really rather do, because it might entice KLO to have to come back later and lose some valuable routing time if we don't find anything else convincing in Ganon's.
Yeah, this could be an advantage for DocHeaps with those bomb chews.
So I don't believe you can do Spirit Trial 2 with the hook shot. I think it's only with the bow. And an area can be double Wanderer hinted. So like the unlock hint and the Wanderer hints are in separate pools, but also an area can just be double hinted for 2 separate Wanderer items in the same place.
Never unlucky.
Could they also be hinted for a Wanderer and a Path?
Yeah, as long as it's separate items. So like there could be a Wanderer item in Crater and there could be a Path item in Crater, and so those could generate separate hints.
It would be really funny if that slingshot is the item.
I'm pretty sure that slingshot is the item. I think
a lot of other big
these
shots
are.
Ooh, no, they're not. Don't kid yourself.
There's some DLC.
Slingshot intensifies.
DLC and QOL. But yeah, so that slingshot definitely could be the case if we're working on the theory of ZL on Burning Cack. Does beg the question, where is Kokiri's sword?
We don't need a dagger. It's fine.
Well, Seed's kind of indicating we might. So this is kind of the nightmare scenario for KLO. Most of the way through Ganon's castle, and the only convincing path item so far will be irons and slingshots. So I think KLO was probably hoping for something a little bit more obvious than that, but here we are in Spirit Trial.
Woo! Spirit Trial!
KLO needs to be careful not to die.
Dying's for the weak. Oh, wait.
I would like to believe the lax isn't a thing, Kirby, especially with our step count, but I mean, I guess it could be.
Yeah, and Water Temple is foolish, as Chad is pointing out, so Iron's very not convincing. Not without maybe like a fountain.
Grotto or diving in the lab, and that's about it.
Yeah, and Irons are not logical for diving in the lab either.
Irons are only logical for Central Pillar and right?
And Tektite.
And Tektite.
So all of Water Temple is logically locked behind Irons.
Yeah, that's foolish. That's why we didn't include it. But yeah. Ooh, yeah, Icy Waters. Forgot about that one.
We got one check left that KLO can find in Ganon's, and then what? I mean, maybe GTG. Oh, this is a big chest, so here we go. Maybe this is going to be our Kokiri sword.
And Toilet. Yes, we cannot forget Toilet, which GTG is
We
longer.
could forget them. Honestly, other magic.
Huh. Okay.
That's logical first magic. Right?
Yeah, because we don't know where Bomb Bag is yet.
So this is highly a play. This is probably back of lake hints into GTG, if I had to guess. A lot of hints along this route, so definitely a nice idea. And, I mean, we're kind of missing info at this point. We got Colossus on Courage, so maybe it could be like a Vanilla Requiem out there, or maybe like a Storms. I don't know. But there's just not many obvious places to go other than out towards the desert.
Yeah, and it really seems like KLO is rushing down that courage piece. I think KLO thinks that he can get all three pieces and is rushing.
Oh, dear. Okay, so that was Minuet for a slingshot. So that actually tells us a whole lot. So that, first of all, that confirms that the slingshot in Ganon's is path. So actually, KLO is probably pretty happy about that, because that's just really good information. And it's probably Minuet to get into Ganon's as well. We also do have a crossing in Logic, I believe, because those hovers are, and the magic are in Logic. I guess the magic could also be path in Ganon's too. It seems a little bit unlikely. But we do have everything we need to cross now and get whatever song is in the desert. So
that was also Trail to Power by Lake Lab, which is a good hint for those lower path counts.
yeah, it's a good hint, but I believe that we saw both of the checks there that we can actually do currently. So I think we're going to need either ZL or Song of Storms to do any more checks in DMT.
They peaked the bombable wall.
I believe so. I thought Teeps peaked it.
So the question is Heaps going to do a similar route to KLO and get those hints, or is Heap going to route different?
Yeah, this is it's very interesting. Both of the runners have followed pretty similar routes overall. KLO ending up being a little bit more aggressive, but also Heaps with those bomb chews has picked up a few additional hints that I think KLO does not have access to. So I think this is a big decision time for KLO, seeing that GTG is Wanderer, and we kind of have a lot of the bait items available already. What is happening here? Okay. I didn't see that he got caught. But, like, you need to go to Colossus, because that's path. So you kind of want to go there quickly. But at the same time, GTG is Wanderer, so you might need something out of here. So what do you do?
Yeah, it's time that you would be committing, but also not having a bow yet is a little difficult.
But like your most likely wanderer item at this point is probably like strength 2.
Yeah, strength 2, possibly you might be getting, a...
Yeah, it could be Wanderer Bombs as well. But even then, like, Wanderer Bombs might be pretty good for KLO. No explosives currently.
With what bow, Purple? Bombs in the lobby?
Looks like we are just going to cross without a GTG dip. KLO kind of gave it a look like he might, but looks like we are going straight to get our song.
Honestly, I don't disagree with this. I think you've got enough information chase down. If you need some thinking time, you can come back and do GTG, but chase your paths.
So DocHeaps back to Temple of Time, and this looks like it could potentially be a GTG play as well, but not going to see those hints in the back of the lake. And that has some pretty important information confirming the slingshot as path that I think really illuminates the chain of events in this seed. Oh, and this is a Bolero check, so Heaps with a little bit of indecision probably would have rather reversed the order here, but we got some clown fiesta going on both sides here. Yes, I think Heaps just wants to be safe and make sure that the 0 is not in fire, especially since fire is path. But Heaps is just going to find a lens and probably laugh a lot. And ultimately, I think Heaps will end up where he was going originally.
Yeah, and I think this will just really solidify a path for Heaps. One thing I'm wondering is with where Heaps is coming from, if Heaps is going to do Tech Grotto with his iron boots or something.
Yeah, and that might make sense because Heaps doesn't know that the slingshot is confirmed path. So Heaps might be thinking, what if it's irons? Can't blame him for thinking that way.
Yeah, and we've got a prelude, so I think that's where Heaps is going.
Yeah, it's a little bit unlucky because those hints in Lake ended up having both of the remaining unlock hints, and those are some of the most powerful hints in the whole seed. So may see him later. We have Serenade, so the option's there. But well, time to see what this song is. It can't be ZL, at least it can't be a path ZL, because we would need an item to be path to account for the hints. So yeah, it could be Vanilla Requiem. That's probably my first idea, but it could also be Storm. So I await the answer with bated breath.
I really want it to be on top of the arch.
That would be interesting if it's on top of the arch, because I would really want to know where's our bomb bag. Or our scale. Anything that gets us into River.
Okay, it storms.
Yeah, it is Storms. And kind of makes me wonder if maybe Kokiri Sword is in DMT behind Storms then. And maybe we're looking at like a power in Deku Tree.
Oh, the Minuet to Slingshot is also out at Colossus, so that's will be nice for DocHeaps.
Yeah, although I think DocHeaps has been trolled the maximum already by the Ganon's path without that knowledge, so where are you going, DocHeaps? Oh, this looks like just clearing out the rest of field for some more hits, so not a bad idea, but KLO is of one mind, and it's bottom of the well.
Yeah, if you get Storms out there, Colossus, it's like, but This feels bad. Again, KLO has no explosives. KLO doesn't have ZL. What are we
Where does Bombchu go?
Oh, the DocHeaps.
I have a lot of questions about what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, his Bombchu just disappeared 3 times.
Huh.
I have.
What?
Is,
Huh, I've never seen that.
Heaps should reset, honestly.
Yeah, is there anything we can do about that?
I'm not able to patch his game. Yeah, I would consider that.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, but it's up to the runner to call it. So, well, that's really unfortunate because that was like
all of his shoes.
Yeah,
That was like 7 or 8 Bombchus right there.
well, I hope that doesn't come back to impact the race too much. But that's
I totally think it's going to, though.
well, I mean, Heaps is on the right path here anyway. At least we think. But we're gonna see if Heaps takes a peek into GTG. KLO passed on the option, but Heaps also has the choice.
I think it would be huge for Heaps if Heaps dipped in and found a bomb bag. And I think that would be the big thing that Heaps is looking for right now. Because that would let you go do the entirety of DC. That would just open up just a lot for either of our runners.
Looks like KLO is just going to be running through market, probably to CAC now for bottom of the well. And I don't know if KLO did a child graveyard visit, so we might see Dompe and the Redead grave along with that. But certainly we'll be seeing bottom of the well, and bottom of the well is the #1 best place to find Bombchus. So who knows? KLO is going to roll the dice here and might get rewarded with a set of first explosives. Not setting time of day though. I'm a little surprised. I feel like that might be a good kind of safe choice, but maybe KLO just really convinced that ZL is the answer and it's going to be for the song. What songs could even be the answer though? I think only Requiem really.
Yeah. And DocHeaps is going to do that dip into GTG.
I actually wonder if KLO might think about going up trail just to check the storms check.
GTG could also be a...
Oh.
What was that? I missed it.
That was a hammer.
Ew. Ew. There's already enough things in CAC.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, for what it's worth, we do have hover boots confirmed as path. So, that could potentially be bait, and KLO should have a decent... Well, KLO has enough information to know that... Actually, I think that hammer cannot be path. It's actually confirmed, just because we have the Wanderer hints, and we also have the Unlock hint confirming hovers as path. That hammer can never be path, and that means that we never need to go back to fire.
That's really nice.
So these are some of the kind of big brain conclusions that you can draw from the information if you're really paying attention, because with the items that we found, like we just have confirmation that we never need to go back to fire. There's never going to be any shenanigans with fire, having to go further there, and tells us a lot about bombs too.
Yeah, and Chanic's pointing out that the tunic is why we can't take the hammers and the hovers and hammer from Anju and kill Volvadia to get that slingshot inside of Ganon's castle.
Also infuriating for KLO, finding that big chest bomb locked, of course, always happens, and now KLO just praying for some bomb shoes. Please show yourselves in bottom of the wall. Not a whole lot going on in GTG so far. KLO gonna get that key. I don't think there's any other options to get more checks in bottom of the well without it, but gonna fish for some of the ZL lock checks here. Makes a lot of sense. More chances for choose. So DocHeaps using that very last bomb chew to clear out the BMOS room. Hopefully this will be worth it.
Oh, I hope so. It's not.
And DocHeaps just immediately resetting, going to get that bomb chew back.
It's a very precious bomb chew, and we got a big chest there behind the key, so... Ooh, and here too. There it is. And now we can get that other bomb locked check. Yep. So bottom of the well, it's the place for bomb chews. I said it earlier.
A 10-pack, that's nice.
Alright, there's a key in left side 2.
Oh!
Oh my god.
So a bomb lock bomb bag, cool.
I hope there's a key here. There is.
There is. So we will see that big chest in GTG maze.
Yes, I meant GTG. Rutos.
That could be a Wanderer Ruto's letter. Gross.
I hate it.
Well, we also got Iron Boots in Ganon's castle.
Yeah, we have GTG as Wanderer, though. So that is the only item we've seen in GTG so far. So, yeah, the GTG play ends up not being so great, unfortunately. I don't know why Rutos would end up being Wanderer. I guess it could maybe lock Strength for Spirit. Just kind of feel like the seed is pointing us there, especially with the unfulfilled Graveyard Path. But I really want to see this DMT Storms check. I really think that Kokiri Sword could be there, and I think KLO is probably headed that direction, but if it's Kokiri Sword, he's just going to end up back in Child momentarily.
We didn't see Dead Hand because we don't have ZL.
Oh no, Kayla, don't go fire. No, this can't be it. This is a mistake.
That also makes me wonder about that Kokiri Forest path, because we technically got a hookshot and a strength or scale, but all of those have the potential to be Wanderer.
So I know it's very easy for us in the commentary booth to know that this is a mistake for KLO, but keep in mind that we are seeing hints from both runners on our streams, and DocHeaps got a bunch of additional hints using those bomb shoes that he found early. So I believe there's probably some path hints that DocHeaps knows about that KLO has not found yet. And so with that, KLO may be missing some path hints and might think that CAC could potentially be double for that hammer. So I think that's why we're going to see some more checks here in Fire, but we know that there's no way that this is going to lead to anything useful.
Ooh, killing Fire Snake.
Not a lot of hearts, no shield.
One fairy.
One fairy, so, well, don't mess it up.
Yeah, if I'm gonna do fire, I'm just gonna do this first. One. Two.
Needs to be careful with his bomb, because the hitbox is very close to the bomb.
5.
KLO threw that bomb away on purpose, by the way. That was actually a really, savvy play, because if the bomb hits Volvagia's head, then Volvagia will start flying off, and it will totally mess up the cycle, and probably cause the time to run out. So that's a really smart play.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
nicely done.
And meanwhile, we have DocHeaps taking that Songstorm's Hey Child, going to find that bomb bag. I do not think that DocHeaps will follow KLO into fire.
No, I don't think so.
I think this was a great chance for DocHeaps to get caught up. But I'm sure DocHeaps still feels like he's behind after that shoot incident.
Well, it may end up being okay, because with storms now, DocHeaps very likely to also end up in bottom of the well, and that one chew will be enough to get both a bomb bag and additional chews. So, fortunately, it may not matter, and scumming that chew away in GTG might end up saving some time here. But I think the real way for DocHeaps to catch up is to end up in DMT. KLO, Volvagia, and out.
It looks like he's gonna check the Kokiri storms first.
And honestly, I like this. Kokiri is a path, like I mentioned, those 3 items we found could be Wanderer, so you want to just make sure that you've cleared your bases.
See if this is a first hint or a last hint, or a mid hint. Kokiri Forest, Path of Courage.
Was that our... No, that wasn't... Okay, that was only our second.
What was the item on Volv? Was it a key or not? I wasn't paying attention.
It was a key.
Interesting, okay. Wonder why KLO decided to leave. But, I don't know. Something for the interview for sure.
That's another CAC Path of Courage. So a question about
That was
these
actually our
games.
first CAC of Courage. Our other CAC was
Oh yeah,
power.
it was Power.
So that means there are 2 items in CAC that we might need. Which means that Power could, or that Hammer could be it.
Yeah, so I think we miscounted our hints, because one of the unlock hints was a Wanderer hint. And so actually that means that one of our unlock hints didn't get placed, because we are now out of room for hints. So that's very interesting, and that's always something that can trip you up. So I still think it's probably Eponas and hovers for crossing, but yeah, that is.
But that would raise the question of which of those is most important for Path to Power? With that being our 5-step, and in my opinion, the one that's going to be kind of the hardest to suss out.
Well, I think we're about to see it on KLO's screen.
It's a dagger.
Yeah,
Who
so
could have guessed?
well, if to be precise, me 15 minutes ago, but yeah. So I do think that our power piece is probably in Deku. The real question is, where is Wisdom? I kind of feel like outside of early Dodongos, there's not a whole lot of other options. Definitely can be DC. Can be early in DC. We do have a hammer and a strength upgrade, both in Sphere 0. So there are at least 2 checks that are 0 count in Dodongos.
I'm doing the math, and both of those magics, assuming they are Wanderer and equally locked in some way, our 5 path for Deku would be Storms, which required hovers and lens, plus... Oh, wait, but we have to get into we have to factor in Minuet somehow, right? Because that opened Ganon's castle to get that bow, or to get the sling.
I think Minuet is purely on courage and not on power. So I think our power is just looking like lens, hovers, Epona, storms, K-Sword.
Cool. I wasn't sure if Minuet factored in. Then yeah, that would be our that was the 5-step I was counting. So yeah, KLO might be the first to get a piece on screen.
Now the real question becomes, where is courage? So I think, or whether runners both having bomb bags, we're probably going to see Dodongos before too long, just because it's the next logical place to go once the power piece reveals itself. But then after that, like, where do you lock down the courage location? You might need a strength upgrade to get into spirit. I do think the spirit is probably our most likely location. And I mean, we've got a Wanderer's Ruto's Letter, we got a Wanderer's Bow out there somewhere. The Wanderer Bow could just be for key logic to get to the letter. So, I mean, ugh.
Yeah, and it occurred to me that if the Minuet is on Path to Courage for that sling, then, yeah, Shanna, I'm wondering about Courage in Child Spirit, or if you need Key on Child Spirit side, and there's some BS with that.
Yeah, and it could be just like a bunch of ZL for key logic scenario as well. So this thing could be, you know, a wild goose chase. But it does seem like ZL for Requiem is what the seed wants us to do. That's a big boy. Is this our first Triforce piece at the slightly over 1 hour mark?
Yes, it is. Well, if I can type, I would do shout outs, because with that piece found, let's give a really quick shout out to everyone who's making this stream happen today. Shout out to KLO and DocHeaps, who are giving us quite the showing. This is still anyone's game, especially with that 10 count piece on the board. So even though KLO's taken a lead at 1 hour in, DocHeaps could catch up. Shout out to our trackers for making sure we know what's happened. That's Baseball, Shannick, and Fortnaught, who, for some reason, the sheet never wants to grab your right URL. I will fix that. And also, whoops. Shout out to our commentators, CFlare, Ella, and myself.
Wait, what?
We're here. We're talking. We're making assumptions about what the runners are doing.
Oh yeah. Super important job. Uh-huh. So, most people would grab popcorn for this kind of a seed, right?
This is a good popcorn seed, because in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to be sitting and watching our runners probably try to find a strength 2 that may not have any information about it.
Well, I got ice cream instead. What kind of snacks does chat have for this awesome seed?
DocHeaps desperately trying to avoid dying in the basement there with only a few hearts left. Oh!
Oh!
Wow!
What was this
Where
round?
was that?
That was strength 2 in the basement, and KLO didn't go there.
Oh.
Wow!
No, KLO got the bomb bag and got out.
That could be a really impactful thing, but keep in mind, there's an additional twist here, and that the DMT path hint was in the Lake Lab, and DocHeaps does not have that hint. And that is the key hint that is, well, we're assuming going to lead us directly to ZL on KLO side in a few seconds. So both of these runners now missing one crucial ingredient to potentially get them to the end of the seed.
Yeah, that is really rough for Heaps to not have that trail to power hint.
Or that Deku shield.
Oh.
Oh, ew.
What?
ZL at Prelude? Ew.
So it's not Burning Cack. Why? Is Minuet purely for Ganons?
It's gotta be.
Huh. I guess that would have to mean that there's no wallet available, because otherwise, like, we had Hammer, we had Hover, so we could potentially do Vol for Ganon's access if we had enough money for a tunic. Looks like KLO is on the way to the graveyard to figure out what this song is. We are assuming that it is going to be Requiem, because there's not a whole lot of other things it could be. Although it could be a surprise item. It's happened before. And Minuet definitely locking Saria's song there, so that much checks out. But we will see both of the other checks here in the graveyard, given that we got Dins, which is actually very convenient. So KLO able to do this all as adults. And DocHeaps is very close to the right place. Oh, and that's the DMT power duplicate. Okay, that's the crucial ingredient for Doc. Now he knows he's going to get that Kokiri sword for sure, and probably going to be really annoyed that he just left Child. But back on the trail.
Yeah, that's great information for him right now. Also, did DocHeaps leave without getting the bomb bag?
No, he has a bomb bag.
Okay.
Cheese are just better in every way.
I was nervous for a second.
KLO forgetting to use Dins, so hopefully we'll remember on the way out, but that's definitely an oversight.
Requiem doesn't seem like it'd be a path hint. Not in my eyes. Not here.
Well, we do have Graveyard as a path location, and so far we've had nothing to satisfy it, so unless something shows up here on the torches... Unless something shows up here on the... Unless something shows up here on the torches...
KLO!
Bro.
Oh no.
It's
Did he
a
forget he has
path!
Dins? Did he forget he has magic and Dins?
KLO 100% forgot that Dins is a thing right now. And honestly, I don't blame him. Like, the Shadow at this point seems too deep or not necessarily where we're headed.
Well, it's got to be Requiem or that other item, so I just don't know where this is taking us. Maybe he's going to get a shield before going Child? Because he's only got Strength 1, so if I'm KLO, I just don't know what the next play... Oh, this is not a shield.
This is DC.
This is Dodongo's.
Yeah.
Dodongo's.
Which, you know, makes sense. I think KLO needs some thinking time about where this courage is. I think KLO's probably feeling pretty nervous that he doesn't have a strength 2 at this point, with that Requiem very likely being on path, which DocHeaps doesn't have to worry about.
Oh, hey. They're holding hands right now.
So keep in mind that if we do, in fact, see the Triforce piece in one of the first 2 checks here, that will give KLO 2 pieces, which will then force DocHeaps to get all 3 pieces before the time limit expires in order to win this match. So KLO probably closing in on the tiebreak and skipping the hint. I think KLO is seeing enough.
But I do think that DocHeaps, with that strength 2, is in a better position than KLO to get all of the pieces, because it really feels like everything is converging on Spirit.
Yeah, there's still potential for weirdness, though. Like, if it's just in Child Spirit, which is not impossible, then it could swing back the other way. But DocHeaps, I would basically say that Doc is probably in the equivalent of Go mode. And
No
it's up to
mode?
KLO to find a way into Spirit, probably. Synchronized bait.
Incredible.
Well, I hope you're enjoying this scintillating mirror match here as our runners are literally synced up into Dongo's cavern.
Are you sure that we don't have the same stream open on both sides? Just like a slight delay?
Okay. First off, don't panic me like that, CFlare. I've had enough, issues this match. We cannot jinx me like that. And second, I love stuff like this. It's so satisfying, you know? It's like one of those relaxing videos you watch to go to bed.
Oh, you're talking about, Double Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go
Double
with
Forest.
that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go. Synchronized Triforce
Found
get.
it.
Synchronized not bait.
So it looks like we are, KLO's probably going straight to Child Spirit. I think that's probably the only available play. DocHeaps, certainly to Deku Tree. And, this thing is either going to be over in about 4 minutes, or it's going to be real interesting.
When Graveyard has something super important.
If you are a
Intensive.
DocHeaps fan, you really want nothing to be Child Side Spirit other than some keys. And I bet you that after DocHeaps does Kokiri, I think an advantage of this route, if the piece is not Child Side, is that DocHeaps will be able to immediately go Child Spirit after this.
Yeah,
And before Mirror Shield on Flame Storage in Composer's Grave for Triforce piece on Twin Rova.
It's
That's the
challenging
thing, right?
for KLO, because if this thing is in Adult Spirit, then KLO is going to have, there's almost no way that KLO is going to end up back in Bottom of the Well. So that means that KLO, in order to finish this seed, is going to have to find the third strength that is just out there somewhere, probably with no information about where it could be. And he's going to be on a real short timer, because Doc's going to blast through Deku Tree and get that Triforce piece, and then get ZL, get Requiem, and from there it's too late. So it's missing that basement chest in Bottom of the Well could be a really crucial moment. It's always about trying not to fly too close to the sun while being aggressive, and unfortunately for KLO, a little bit at the mercy of the rando gods here for where this Triforce piece is going to end up.
If I had some popcorn, I'd be munching it furiously.
Yeah, this is gonna get real interesting real quick. There's key here. So there's what, 2 more checks after this? 3? No, not 3. 1.
Well, so we're gonna get the child climb, so there'll be two checks there, and then the 2 firelock checks.
Oh,
And,
I forget about the firelock checks. Yes.
I don't know if we had a peek of the silver gauntlets check. You can actually peek that from outside the temple, and I don't know if we did it or not. So, could potentially even be as many as 5 checks before we are locked out.
I'll be honest, I said 5 randomly, and I'm glad I was right.
You didn't say it randomly. You knew.
Deep in my
You
soul,
just
I know. But I second guessed myself.
Unless if the randomizer has something to do with how many checks are available. Oh, just make this chest disappear. This check doesn't exist for this seed.
Baseball today, I don't know anything. I am not even going to pretend to predict anything today because my brain is just shot.
Oh, I just realized we also need long shot for my twin Rova theory to pan out, don't we?
Well, we don't know what's on the silver gauntlets check yet, I think.
Oh yeah, it depends on key logic. We love spirit
is
key
the race
logic.
about to end?
Nope.
Nope.
No, it's not.
That is still bomb locked, right?
I don't think so.
No, it's 1 key, isn't it?
Requiem is in Composer's Grave for ZL on Prelude.
That could be a Wanderer bomb bag, but I don't think it can be Path. Although we don't have a Spirit Temple Path, but the trolling intensifies. You know, the Requiem locking both bomb bags somehow for that classic 10 count courage piece on King Dodongo. You know you want it.
That would be so gross.
Isn't Gross my middle name? Wait, that's a bad middle name. Never mind. I don't want it.
Dins cannot be Path because we would have had a Deku Tree Path hint somewhere, and we do not, and we have all the hints. But KLO is running out of checks here. If it's not in one of these next 2 checks, then KLO is going to be on a wild goose chase for strength 3, and the timer is going to begin. And now we're down to 1 check.
I also just double checked and can confirm that bomb bag is not bomb locked, although it is locked by a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely not impossible that we could have a second bomb bag locked by Requiem. I mean, it's a little hard to imagine at this point. But if there was like another bomb bag on like adult side in one of the first 2 checks, then we could have Requiem locking both bomb bags without the bomb bags being hinted, and that could potentially put any bomb lock check as a 10 path. But we got to get through this check first, so KLO taking it nice and safe, bringing down the silver gauntlet, and well, now's the moment of truth. Are we here or are we done?
I vote we're here for the long haul.
Yep.
Oh, we're here.
We are here for it, folks. So DocHeaps is going to go adult, get that Requiem, and then is probably going to be back. Well, actually, DocHeaps doesn't have to go Child Spirits. DocHeap has that strength too.
Yeah, DocHeaps definitely has the option to do the adult side checks just to see if a key shows up. I don't think either way is wrong, but DocHeaps can't know that in advance.
But with that strength too, DocHeaps could just find it.
So this is going to be probably the rest of Colossus and maybe back to GTG. GTG is Wanderer, so KLO thinking, well, if that Wanderer item is Strength, then I'm still okay. And well, unfortunately for KLO, we have seen all of GTG that is available with the items that KLO has. So I think it's maybe DocHeaps' lucky day. It could be time for the comeback.
Yeah, so for anyone who just got here, the big difference between our runners is that DocHeap has this Strength 2 that came out of the bottom of the well basement. KLO got his bomb bag and got out of there.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
What?
That is unbelievable.
That's insane.
That's
Fail.
literally the first check that he does to search for Strength 2. It could be anywhere.
That's insane.
I cannot
then.
believe that.
Yes, 2 Strength 2s are bomb locked.
Actually, technically, the bottom of the well one is not bomb locked, because you can get it with ZL plus Strength 1. So unless there were any bomb locked keys in bottom of the well, it's not. I know we had a bomb-locked bomb bag in bottom of the well, and I don't remember what the other bomb-lock check was. But I don't think it was a key.
Alright, here's the dins. Is it a big chest?
Oh my gosh. Is it the reverse twist?
What?
Oh, but that is confirmed Wanderer.
Yeah.
So that means the graveyard hint was the Requiem.
Yeah, that's what that means. What a wild ride we've been on these past 5 minutes. I can't believe all of this.
So now it looks like KLO's in the lead.
Oh yeah,
If
KLO
it's
is
here.
bailed so hard.
Yeah, because if it's here in spirit, KLO got exactly what he needed to go get it.
I'm certainly confused about what GTG is Wanderer for. I almost wonder if it could be like maybe a bow-locked bomb bag as like a Wanderer bombs.
I think we found all 3 of our bomb bags though.
Have we?
I thought we found 2.
One was in well bomb lock, one was in spirit child climb. Okay, so I guess there is one more bomb bag out there in the world.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe that bomb bag is in GTG behind bow, because I think that the bow and graveyard is not bomb locked.
No, it is not.
There's a big boy in spirit. Is this the end?
Uh-oh.
This could be it. And
Not like
GG's! Oh my gosh, that was insane.
What a
we want
race!
to just let DocHeaps run for another like 10 minutes?
DocHeaps is probably gonna finish it out. Nope, DocHeaps is forfeiting.
Oh. He
I
was
think
so
it's fine.
close!
He probably knew what it was. What a finish! I mean, just KLO played very aggressively, and frankly, I think KLO got bailed out like crazy, finding that strength too, because there was only one place in that seed where that strength could have been. Because if it's not there, then KLO is in GTG probably 100% of the time, and we know that that strength is not going to show up. So strength 2, unbelievable.
What happened? Wait, there was probably another string too that I missed that fucked me over, wasn't there?
You guys are not going to believe the insanity.
I'm already, as I'm listening, I'm like, God damn it! There was one check that I didn't do that would have
The
like
insanity.
turned the tables, wasn't there?
No,
I'm
it's
already,
the
as I'm
opposite,
listening, I'm
actually.
like, God damn it!
okay.
There was one check that I didn't do that would have like, I guess,
We
turned the
got a little
tables,
bit of
wasn't
a,
there?
no,
Scale
it's
echo
the
here.
opposite,
Oh
actually.
yeah, pause.
Okay,
Hold on. I am
guess,
pausing
good.
We got a
the
little bit of a
microphone.
GG scale up.
Give me
here.
1 second. I need
Oh,
to figure
yeah,
out where that
pause.
echo comes
Hold on.
from. I am pausing the microphones. Give me 1 second. I need to figure out where that echo comes from. Give me 1 moment.
I'll hold off on revealing the goods while we fix this echo.
Oh, hold on a second.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Is that better? Is that better? Well, my OBS is set to remote desktop audio, so if I join this...
Yeah, I apologize.
well
Give
mute
me
it for
a
the echo.
moment. I'm going
I've
to
muted desktop
transition
audio
us
now,
to
though.
our outro scene. We have had some microphone issues all game, so give me a moment. Because this is my first time restreaming in a while. Okay. We are going to take that. We are going to delete that. We are going to transition. Okay. Can everyone hear everyone fine, or is it echoing still?
I don't know.
Chat says things
I
are
think we're good now.
Cool.
Okay, we're good. So everyone, we can do our outro scene. There we go. Oh, 1 second, 1 second. For some reason, the audio's still not showing up. Oh, there it is. Wait, nope. Sorry, this has been literally all game. Okay, we're gonna transition. Okay, now we can talk. Thanks, everyone. Clown seed, clown restream. Like, it's all good.
Yeah. So talk to me about what was going on that could have shaped this seed differently.
Okay, so you're gonna have your mind blown. You might feel a little bit hard done. We were stunned in the restream. So, Doc, you're about 5 minutes behind.
Was
roughly.
it in Spirit Temple?
Yeah, it's an adult. It's an
Yeah, of
adult
course.
spirit. You need. But the key moment was KLO was about 5 minutes ahead for roughly the whole seed, basically. But there was a problem, and the KLO did not go into the basement of Bottom of the Well to find Strength 2 there. And so KLO got all the way to the point where he did Child Spirit and got Strength locked out of Spirit Temple, and then went adult to go back to GTG to look for Strength 2, probably because of the Wanderer hint, needing the other Strength, because we knew that one was in Bottom of the Well, right?
Yep.
Because you found it. And we know that the piece is probably like an adult spirit. So we know that you're going to get there in about 5 minutes. And KLO pulls the only Strength left in the seed on a Colossus Fairy and immediately just goes to Spirit. And finishes the seed.
It was incredibly close. It was
Jesus
insane.
Christ.
Well, always clear paths.
Yeah, so if it was literally not on that one check, then KLO is back in GTG clearing what is a dead GTG, and you just get the piece in 5 minutes and it's over.
Yeah, the well was always in the back of my head because I went there earlier looking for a bow.
Yeah. I'm guessing you crossed the wasteland pretty quickly.
Yeah. When I got the hover boots, and particularly when I got the lens, it was a sort of okay. Storms is at Colossus.
You
Yeah.
skip GTG entirely.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I was like, how was I so far? Skip GTG. That checks.
Yeah.
And I did the whole of GTG. Yeah. Basically, I did the entire loop, center maze. Got to pull the letter. Was just like, yeah, hell no.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like I did nothing bonus. I did beat Volvagia.
Oh, okay.
Did a cheeky little 4-heart Volvagia.
Yeah.
Did you? What was the reasoning for that? I was curious because we were a little bit confused why you went back in there.
Fire Temple was path. Hover boots led to Kakiri sword, and then I wanted to check if there was a key on the boss, because then the rest of Fire Temple was probably hovers locked. And then once I beat the boss, I thought, I really don't want to do Fire Temple, so I left. Hate Fire Temple. There we go.
I was literally walking out of Temple of Time after having done Ganon's and finding Jack All in there. Like slingshot, sure. Magic, I already had one. Iron boots, fine. And I'm like walking to go cross the wasteland, and I was like, I should just do that one check in fire. I really should. Like, I haven't done it yet. Just play Bolero. Just go do it. Find lens. And I was like, come on, I was already doing this.
Yeah, I've been burnt by that chest too many times to not do it immediately after I get Bolero. Yeah. If I've got Fire Temple even vaguely hinted, it's always a priority. Yeah. Even when there's a 0 step, because I think everyone's had a seed where they haven't got their 0 piece until like 140 because it's there. The Death Mountain Trail to Power hint was sort of in my mind. I was about 60-70% sure that was going to be the logical bomb bag. I don't actually know where the logical bomb bag is.
Well, speaking of that, there actually is no logical bomb bag, because the GTG Wanderer hint is actually for that bomb bag. There's a bomb bag in Child Climb in Spirit, which is one option, but then there's a bow-locked bomb bag in GTG, and you can get the Wanderer bow off the Composer Grave Torches chest, which you walked right by, KLO, and we were yelling at you.
Yeah, I did, but at that point, from the second I beat Deku and then got the Prelude song, it was, Requiem's in Graveyard. It's the only thing that makes sense. Go straight there. Don't need to do any of the checks. Warp straight Child. Hope to God it's on Child's side. It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out for you brilliantly, and didn't really need that bow after all. But it was pretty wild, because I think if there was like a path bomb bag there, then potentially like the 10 path could have led to anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, the practice you did before was a 9-step that ended in a hook shot, which is it's always the fun part of Triforce Blitz, when you finish a long path at about 130 and it's a hook shot or a bomb bag or Zelda's Lullaby, and you're like, thank you, game, I've got half the game left to check.
Yeah. Did y'all enjoy my Hyrule Field rock eating up every single one of my
bomb god. Actually, about that,
we're really glad that didn't end up really affecting the race in the end, because you were able to get some more chews out of Bottom of the Well. But yeah, for a future notice, I believe that is FPA-able if that happens again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, baseball double checked
looked it up.
Oh, okay. I had no idea what was going on, and it wasn't until very much afterwards that somebody was like, that was an actor loading glitch, and I was like, oh, cool.
Is that what it is? It didn't happen to be this seed, but it's happened to me a few times.
Yeah, it's an actor loading glitch, and baseball looked it up. It is FPA-able if that ever happens in a future seed.
Oh, cool. Good to well now everyone knows. We're all smarter because of this. Yeah, because I thought maybe it was like the boulder was eating it for some reason, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll use Deku Nuts and see if I can try to get the Deku Nuts to explode it, but then that wasn't working, and I was
we saw you step back, and we saw you rearrange where you were standing, and it was like, oh, geez, it hurts.
I just didn't know that was a glitch, and I was just like, well, there goes 6 of my chews, and I have.
It was like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I ended on 1, and I was like, well, here we are.
We could all see you going through the triage checklist in your brain.
Yeah, truly. As I'm sitting here just thinking like, okay, I did this, didn't work, did this, didn't work, like problem solving, and I'm just like, nope, nothing worked.
So which Bumshoe pack did you get?
I had the 5 from somewhere. I got a 10 pack from Wolfo's Grotto. And
your 5 pack was in Child Archery.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Starlight Tree got me
ran
my
past that one.
5. Wolfos Grotto got me my 10. And then I found Bomb Bag and more chews in Well. So I was able to use that one explosive. Because in GGG, I was able to scum that one explosive, held on to it through Well, and I got the locked Bomb Bag in Well.
Yeah, the first bomb chew pack I got was the one in the Well. I'd gone left first, peeked the chests, saw that it was a big one, and picked up the bomb chews and was like, oh great, I can start going out of logic, and went out of logic for about 6 seconds.
So fun when that happens.
Yeah, this was certainly fun and incredible. This was your game 1. What are you all hoping for games 2 and potentially game 3?
Is in time wise or count wise? Because I'd love, like a 3-3-3 that I'd do really quickly and win, but I mean that's just me.
Honestly, that sounds good to me too. No, I definitely like a little bit more of the complex seeds that require a little bit more of the logic. I mostly just because I enjoy those seeds more. I mean, not because I'm maybe any better at them, but they're just fun. Like they're just fun to play.
Yeah, between 5 and 10 is the sort of sweet spot.
Yeah, the zeros are always rough because you're just like, okay, well that's a 0. That could be anywhere.
It was actually delightful because you all basically did Dodongo's Cavern synchronously on screen almost to the second. It was great.
I was pulling up the VOD just to kind of see. We got the wisdom piece within 1 second of each other.
Yeah, like by about 40 minutes in, I knew it was in Dodongo's Cavern because I'd already done Anna's Castle, so it's just a matter of I need to go there at some point. When do I fit it in?
I had managed to scratch out every other possible 0-step location, and DC was all that I had left. I was like, DC has to be my 0-step because I have no other zeros left.
Yeah, I knew I was going to need to go to the graveyard for the song, so it was, I need to go adult to get Zelda's Lullaby, whether that's on Burning Cack or Preludes. I'll just walk there from Kakariko. It's finally time.
Well, all right. It looks like we are going to go ahead and start wrapping up. Baseball is reminding me of the prediction. KLO got a piece first, right, Baseball?
That is correct, yes.
Thank you. Okay. And one last shout out to everyone who made this seed happen today. DocHeaps, KLO, that was such a fun race. And good luck on your future races. Hopefully we will get to restream them, but if not, I'm sure they're going to be absolutely incredible. Shout out to
I think we're aiming for both on Sunday, so you're already well stacked on restreams on Sunday, unfortunately.
Sunday's gonna be intense. But it's gonna be great. So shout out to our trackers, Sky Reyes, who is Fortant on Twitch. Shout out to Baseball and Shannock. Those 3 did an awesome job making sure we knew what the hell was happening. And shout out
Did we really?
Yeah, they were so good. We love our trackers. And shout out to our commentators, CFlare, Elagatua, and myself, SadieSweet, who also restreamed. And thank you again, everyone, for putting up with the restream issues. Like I said, I'm getting back into restreaming. We should not have these issues on Sunday, if only because Velvet is going to be restreaming one of the matches, so you don't get 6 hours of me messing with audio. I think we are going to go ahead and pop over to the, it looks like there is a link to the past race over on Zelda Speedrun, so we are going to hop over there. But before we head over, any last words, anyone?
No, just thanks for putting this together. I do apologize that I was a little bit late today, but y'all were so generous in being able to wait for me, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, great race, everybody. It was a really fun show. Wild ride at the end. Definitely watch back the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be looking for the Sadie cackle.
You should also see the actor glitch too.
No, I'm good. I already did that once. Don't need to do it again.
No, definitely look it up. It was great. Good fun.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm actually asking Velvet really quick if he is able to raid because, haha, I still do not have raid permissions apparently.
This is the worst raid ever.
Oh, but it looks like Baseball can raid. Thank you, Baseball. We love you.
Thanks, baseball.